Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is lesson 105. Today we're going to look at the difference between historic and historical. Yeah, I have had this question a number of times from students because they do seem similar, but yet there is clear differences between them. So let's look at historic first. Let's look at the definition. Historic means something that is historic has great importance to history or a great influence on history. Yeah, especially if it's like a turning point in history. It has a real effect on how or the direction history is going in. Then we're more likely to use the word historic. So let's look at some of the examples. Man landing on the moon is considered to be an historic event. Yeah, of course, with space travel, definitely, or going to other planets, that is definitely considered to be historic. It has a great influence on history. Number two, the Battle of Waterloo was a historic battle that caused the demise. The demise, of course, means the destruction of Napoleon. Yes, that was the end of him. So that was, of course, very important to history. Um, this is more recent. Saudi Arabia allowing women to drive is a historic decision. So we might use it in this way too. Again, it has an influence on history or the direction it's going in. The tearing down of the Berlin Wall was a historic event. Yeah, definitely. That was kind of like almost a symbol of the end of the Cold War. Okay, so all of those have strong influence on history or were turning points in history. That's when we use the word historic. Okay, let's take a look at historical. People or things that are historical are considered to be part of history. That's one way we use it. Or the second way, historical writings, movies, etc., portray or represent things from history. Okay, so historical is more like of or relating to history. It means that history's involved in it, but not necessarily a turning point or great influence. So let's look at the first example. George Washington is a historical figure. All right, this goes back to the first one. People or things that are historical are considered to be part of history. George Washington is definitely part of history. The History Channel mostly shows historical documentaries. All right, again, we say like movies or writings, things about history, we use historical. So it's relating to history. But the books and the movies themselves aren't really significant events in history. They're not turning points or influencing history in any great way. James is a historical scholar. Yeah, so he's a scholar, probably his major, his focus was history. Again, it's relating to history, but James himself is not having a huge influence upon history or have any turning point in history. Okay, so I hope that clarifies it for everybody. Again, remember, historic has a great influence on history or is a turning point in history. Historical is more like relating to history or involved in the history. Um, okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.